Yo, what's going on, everybody? We are live, WrestlePurists Worldwide, hosted by myself, Joe Hulbert, back with Hangman. Better known some of you guys, if you WrestlePurists. Did that the wrong way around, but anyway. Here to do the usual worldwide stuff, weekend recap, kinda. No AEW over the weekend, so just Smackdown in terms of shows, but there's been some news updates and all that sort of stuff, so
you're going to have to GCW.
This is now, it's like 3 straight things, including stuff that happened before the show, that Ivo has done to be aggressive and spiteful to his friends at WrestlePurists Worldwide. And I'm noticing.
Ibu was like a little bit late. Shock horror, I know. But like he just comes backstage in the StreamYard and he's like, oh, before we go live.
Yeah. He just punched us both in the face. Yeah.
It's what he does, man. It's not good. It's not good. But anyway, as I was saying, there's been some news updates and stuff like that. So, we're gonna kind of have to call onto the live chat to give us questions and stuff to talk about. Because there hasn't been a whole lot going on this weekend, but I'm sure once we get going, we ain't going to run out of things to talk about. But first things first, please like, subscribe, send any super chats with any questions, any takes, opinions, anything like that. We'll get them read out, answer them, turn on our post notifications. Hope everyone is doing good and had a good weekend. So my fellow co-host, Joe Hulbert, what is going on?
Nothing much, mate. I've been preparing all day, getting my stretches in and such, and I've got some fresh topics for today. I've got a couple on the docket. I've got was CM Punk vs Mojo actually good at Wembley Stadium, which I think is one that I think we would probably be the first show to really delve into that. And if we have time left over, because it is such a detailed and in-depth thing, I think we might talk about Kurt Angle a little bit. Because I don't think Ibu thinks he's not a big fan from what I know. So that's what I got ready for today. I've prepared. And this is going to be a hell of a show. Let me tell you, I think this may be our worst show yet, and I say that with pride and excitement. I really think this could be one for the ages. So lock in, folks.
This is what we. That's what I mean. Like, when the thumbnail was just like,
I was like, what?
Oh, you know what? I didn't know what to do. Like when I was tweeting, when I was doing the tweet, I was like, what are we going to talk about? Because we're just going to talk. Like we always do, and those are the best podcasts when we don't have like this. We've got to talk about this news and that news and blah blah blah, and we can just kind of freely like talk about whatever. The chat gets involved. We've got super chats going, and we just talk about everything or anything, But I didn't know what to tweet, bro. And it's literally within 1 minute of me tweeting, Joe Court tweets it like, "This is going to be the worst show ever."
It's funny.
We mean that with love,
Yeah,
we're not going to phone it in.
Yeah.
That's not what we mean.
To pull back the curtain here, at WrestlePurists, I feel the way wrestlers in AEW and WWE feel in that like they're the last to find out things, and like the sheets usually find out before they do about stuff, because Monty doesn't go to us to tell us what these topics are going to be or what the titles are going to be of these videos that we're a part of. Sometimes I'm scheduled for podcasts that I didn't even know were going to happen until the tweet comes up. And so when Monty threw this tweet up and I'm reading the topics, live reacting just as you guys, I'm like, Steve, did I miss a Steve Austin report? What is happening? And then I saw the thumbnail and I was like, huh?
Listen, let's address the bigger issue, bro. Let's address the bigger issue right now.
Sure.
We've broke the streak.
Which streak?
Thumbnail streak.
Of Dwayne.
No Dwayne
thumbnail,
No
Dwayne
thumbnail. So I had to follow it up with something special, and what's more special? What is the one more thing on this that is more special?
Our trajectory is we went Punk, Dwayne, Austin. So that I assume next is we're going to like a big Hogan burst up next.
I can't do that one.
We're doing Bruno. When's Bruno? Is that Christmas?
Bruno San Martino.
Hey,
man.
Superstar Billy Graham's going to start filling our timelines up.
P-Man and Bruno was still with us and just doing interviews about Roman. He's like, I think Roman's a great champion. I think he's pretty good for the WWF. And I like Roman Reigns. It'd be
pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. My favorite Bruno delivery was when they did the larynx angle with Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage, and backstage Bruno has to interview Randy Savage, and he's just like, "Why did you do that?" And Randy's like, "He asked for it. And this guy Bruno literally goes, "You rotten slime!"
That's a classic. Yeah, that's
grabs him by the collar. But anyway, Monty, ask me how my day was.
How was your day? How's fasting been? All those things,
Mid, but I will say this. I'm actively, almost embarrassingly looking forward to the fact that Raw tonight does not have a stage. They have sold so many tickets that they've gotten rid of the stage and have that minimalist, like 80s setup. And just being able to look at that, I love when my wrestling TV looks different. It's why I love early 2020 AEW when they were in the boat, and then when they had the beach show in Cleveland for whatever reason, and so on and so forth, the Daily Show. So yeah, a Raw with no stage is just nice. And so being able to watch that, and then hopefully a hot Chicago crowd, and an Andrade singles match, and then CM Punk promo. I might have to throw something on the grill tonight.
We're so cooked, dude. Like,
well, these are the things that like, bring us joy. So,
if of the three of us today, Ivo is most excited to watch wrestling. And the reason he's most excited of the three of us is because there's no stage from Monday Night Raw. And like, the worst part about that is I know exactly what he means and what he's talking about. And I'm like, yeah, that does sound cool. And that's alarming, really. Because when he says something like, we should both be like, grow up. It's a stage. But instead, I sat here and went, it does sound pretty good. I'll have to watch Raw tonight.
I wasn't offended at all,
Yeah, because usually when they're wrestling on Raw, like they have that diagonal angle where you see a big, obnoxious red screen.
It is horrible, yeah.
It just slaps you in the face. And now they're going to pan to it, and it's just going to be people. It's just going to be people, Joe.
I was watching the Money in the Bank Blu-ray, the show that Montel and I sold out. And that had that deal, right, with the... Yeah, bending, Like, it looked great, man. Dude. It looks awesome.
You posted a video because, like you said, you was rewatching it, so you posted a video for me. So I went through my camera roll to see what I had because my phone died towards the end. My last video is Roman Reigns' entrance.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because you don't normally do like the whole videos, really, do you?
I don't ever do. No.
So, like at the end when Jay and Jimmy are there,
you told me to record, yeah. Yeah,
get these videos.
You said it to me, and I didn't hear you because it was very loud. And I was like, "Yeah." I just stood there, and he was like, "Bro, record." I was like, "Oh, that's what you said." Okay, good, my bad. It was loud in there, dude. Like the post match was like a party. It was crazy.
It was.
I was so starved for wrestling this weekend, guys, that I watched a Game Changer wrestling show. And I watched the majority of it. There was a Zilla Fatu. There was a Zilla Fatu and Jacob Fatu tag against two schmucks. The main event was Danhausen versus Matt Cardona. And I told Monty about this. I had him guess my star rating. And at the end of this conversation, he goes,
I got it right.
He guessed my star rating.
Exactly right.
Yeah. I want you to guess, Joe, what my rating for about a 16-minute Matt Cardona versus
Sorry,
Danhausen.
how long was it?
It was about like 16 minutes, something like
that. Now I have to. Okay, I'm going to just guess, but there is a key question I should ask. I'll just guess. -3 is my prediction.
No. They try to have a sincere, honest to God wrestling match.
Really? Okay. Half a star.
Correct. So right. Monty was like, "Oh, you can't rate that. It's like a comedy bullshit." And I was like, "No, this is like a straight up wrestling match. Like they just had a wrestling match. They just went like about 50.
Why did they do that?
I don't really know, Joe. I'm not sure. The crowd was not into this, which is surprising because I think they worked this like they thought these people would be going nuts for it. They did not. There was a Violence is Forever death match on here that was about 3/4 of a star.
Improvement.
Yeah. Cole Radrick wrestled.
What was the match of the night?
There wasn't.
There has to be. Just by default, there has to be.
The Samoans, Zilla and Jacob. They had a 2-star tornado tag on there.
Beast. Sounds real.
Yeah, they broke a lot of doors. Zilla did 4 variations of the Samoan spike. Jumping one, uppercut Samoan spike, a tope Samoan spike. It was interesting.
A tope Samoan spike.
Yeah, I'm surprised it was really funny. I popped at that. I was like, "Holy shit! Look at that!" Yeah, Yeah, go ahead.
It's because this is kind of on topic as well. You might be able to get Ibu to segue into what he was about to just say. Anyway, Darren Walker, £2. Appreciate it. Ibu, what random wrestling you watch at the weekend?
Yeah, it would be the people that wrestled on the Game Changer show. I forgot the names of half of the people that I watched. It appears that they're having a rebuilding phase. There's a lot of like new guys on there now. They're just kind of doing things on these shows. They should book my buddy Mookie Summers. But yeah, I watched Zilla Fatu. I watched The Violence is Forever. I saw Danhausen. Oh, the conclusion to the Matt Cardona match. A hooded figure appeared and attacked Cardona. And then he unveiled himself. And it was Nick effing Gage, who is back in GCW. I didn't know he was gone, but he is back. And it was at this point that I was informed by a close friend that he's legitimately on a slave contract with GCW, where all his likeness is owned by Brett Lauderdale, and he is beholden to him for the rest of his life.
Tribal Kev, 199. Appreciate it. Yeah. Rock's exposed the current talent. Goat emoji. #mana. #best ever.
He is.
People are missing the #Papatui, bro. We need #Papatui now. Like this is the promo run, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's weird, man. I was watching I told Montgomery I was watching the Cody Roman segment before I got here, and I didn't think it was like bad. It's just not really that interesting. But you do watch it, even if you don't intend to. You do watch it through a different lens now, and it's slightly boring. Like it does. Even if, again, I thought the segment had issues in itself, and the content was pretty lame. But you watch it differently, even if it wasn't that way, right? Because you've seen the way that Rock, and it's not. Look, I don't think it's a reflection of the current time. I think it just tells you the kind of power the Rock has, physically, like the presence that dude has.
The mana.
When our thumbnail today is one of only two people probably in history that can compare in that regard. So
when he's involved, Joe, it just feels like this is the biggest thing ever. Like he's in the ring selling a match, and like this is the match. This is the match of the century, the big money prize fight, and you're like, yeah, that's a WrestleMania main event, you know. And then there's so much power in that. And then like Roman and Cody are out there, and like it feels like two guys that aren't playing hard, and they're not really rebounding, and they're not like, you know, whatever. It felt very listless, and I was like, is this like week 2 of a Judgment Day build, or like a fucking payback build? Right. Like, what's happening here? This is Mania, guys. Wake the fuck up! And Cody just I mean, Roman's Roman. He's a piece of shit. But Cody Rhodes, I was very disappointed in him because
he wasn't very good in that segment.
Yeah. Cool. Usually he brings the thunder. You know, usually he has some swag. You know, some joie de vivre. He has just some. You know, he has a little juice. He didn't, and not only did he not have it on Friday, Cody Rhodes is very bad at hiding his feelings facially, and he had that weird, like, demoralized Cody boo boo face coming out, and it was very concerning. I was like, is he okay? Does he just know the segment sucks and he's not happy about the fact that he's about to do a bad segment, or did they just tell him he's losing? Now that could just be Ibu paranoia running rampant.
Well, I actually asked once if there was any talk that he was ill. So I thought he sounded like he didn't look like any juice. It was weird.
Yeah, and he had so much juice on Monday. You know, regardless of how anyone felt about his content on Monday. He had swagger, he had power, he had bass in his voice, he raised his voice, you know, he had the energy, the crowd got into it. The crowd got in, they wanted to be into this because Cody came in the ring and there was huge Cody Rhodes chants. Then he started talking about like 2013 WWF, and it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird dynamic, and on some level, I don't envy the lads, right? Because they're building a match it literally is coming second. And the other match has Dwayne The Rock Johnson in it. So it's like, what match do you build? They spent a lot of time building the tag match, even in this segment, right? Talking about how, you know, like, which white guy can you trust? Which I thought was like, that was fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. There's a certain energy to Roman in particular that it feels like he'd rather be anywhere else, which is hilarious. And I can only respect it on some level, if I'm honest with you. I do agree. Cody was more surprising because he is usually, you know, you never generally question his effort or commitment to a character, right? So same circle, I think. I don't think it's like the end of the world.
No.
The one thing I would say beyond these performances, and I increasingly feel this way, and I think maybe I'm on an island with this, but that's fine. I think these head-to-head segments are often better in your imagination than they are actually in reality. Not always. Great promo guys can do it. But the way that WWE in particular block these segments, where it's like you go, I go, and I think it very quickly becomes a pretty lame version of both parties. And I actually think that was even reflected in, I think the least interesting Rock segment since he came back is the one when they did the head-to-head, because that reason, it's like, it's so, it's manufactured, the kind of back and forth. Yeah. It's hard to it's hard to capture organically, I guess is my point.
I hear what you're saying, but I have seen like really strong versions of that.
For sure. Yeah.
That's like CM Punk's hilarity. It's like CM Punk's specialty is this like verbal rap battle promo.
100%.
John Cena has, for better or for worse, taken this concept, and that's kind of his thing. I know I get what you mean though, where it's just kind of like, here's my soliloquy, now it's your turn to give yours, and sometimes it's just whatever, and I totally get that. And you're just waiting for them to kind of recite their like rehearsed like cool guy go home line of like whatever. But
the best Punk one to me was the Eddie one, because it felt like they were going to fight at any moment. Because Punk has a lot of great ones, to be clear, so I'm not saying this isn't a Punk thing. It's to his credit, but the Eddie one in particular I always thought was great because it felt like Eddie had no interest in playing the game we just described, right? Of like, you go, I go. Eddie just yelled at him a lot, and Punk just kind of stood there as if to say, are we fighting or what?
What's funny?
It's a very challenging thing to portray, I think.
You know what's funny, Joe? Kevin Owens hates doing those hilariously.
Yeah.
And he tapped out of 2 Logan Paul head-to-head promos that they wanted him to do. Or he's just like, I'd rather just like wrestle somebody and
do an angle.
Do an angle, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the presentation of it either on Friday. It's like, the content of it was not, it was disappointing, but I don't know, man. They could have done like a contract signing or something, get Nick Aldis out there, I don't know, man. Like, there's just same as what you were saying, Joe, about like the tag face to face as well. There's just something about just doing something where it's like face to face, and the first guy goes out, and it's like, well, come on out here, and they both stand there with no one stopping them from fighting, and they apparently hate each other, and they don't fight, and it's just like they're just trying to trade bazingas, and when the bazingas don't land with the crowd, it's just kind of everyone just staring around. And
the actual, so that's the other funny thing. Since we're just getting into it now, I like the content was like whatever. My whole thing with it was just that there just wasn't any energy from the people delivering this content, because I've seen great delivery of like fine content and it makes a segment. Like we've seen it. I mean, look at Dwayne, right? But right? Like you fucking walking clown emoji, but he's just a monster, so he just makes it work. But their delivery was bad. But the other thing was, I don't know if you noticed this, Cody very clearly hit his go home line quicker than scheduled. And so they had 5 minutes of TV time to kill, when clearly the idea was just, he's going to say this line, you're going to have a 6-person face-to-face and go off the air in about 20 seconds. And Cody clearly didn't account for, in this script, he didn't account for, like, Roman likes to stare and react and pace. And so he just said everything he had to say and was like, I am the one. Good luck at WrestleMania. And Roman has to, like, clearly he's getting the cue. They're like, yo, we have 5 minutes. And Roman's like, fuck. And so he has to kind of pace around and meander a little bit and, like, stand on the ramp. And Heyman has to ad-lib and be like, yeah, you're the tribal chief. You're the guy. You're the guy. And, like, person on the side's like, yeah, they're not coming out for 2 more minutes. You guys got 2 minutes to stare. They have to cue the music so it's less, like, weird. And everybody slowly comes out to them not engage in physicality. That's the other thing. If your promo's flat, a lot of times, this happens a lot of times actually, you can save it with good physicality.
Yeah.
That was also flat. So it was like a flat head to head, and then they all just kind of stare at each other. And it was like, okay, that was a bit of a dud segment.
Yeah. And last year, I know they didn't do any physicality, but last year, you're building to, we're gonna let you see what happens when these guys lock up at WrestleMania. Right? Yeah. What is it going to look like? What's it going to feel? And to their credit, it did feel like a massive deal. This year, they're literally wrestling on night one anyway. They can brawl some, bro. Ain't gonna hurt the house. Trust me.
There was no
That's
manner. It's like, remember when they did remember the
No.
Smackdown premiere? And they did
Oh,
a
when
big
they did the
face to
face-off?
face. The energy in the room, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it was just that fucking 10 seconds was better than what we got on Friday.
Yeah,
bro. I
Cody
swear to
Rhodes
God.
needs to, and this is where I kind of question, like, is this a Roman thing? Does he just hate the guy? What's going on here? Cody should be walking up to him and punching him in the mouth, to be honest with you. You know, I know that Cody's whole thing is that he's very polite, and he's very gentlemanly, and he's very erudite and sophisticated and whatnot. But
I love the way we're now talking about it's like wrestling's real. We're going full hooper, you know.
Yeah, but
Cody shouldn't take that shit, man.
No, like Cody Rhodes should be walking up to him and literally reiterating. You know what's funny? The segment where Dwayne took Cody's match, like 2 months ago or whatever, Cody's promo to Roman's face there was way better than this. The problem is that it ended with, but not at WrestleMania. And it was like, what? Because in that promo, he literally said sports style. He was like, I would have had you. I did have you. I had you pinned. I had you beaten. I would have won the match. I would have been the champion. And then a bloodline got involved. But I'm telling you this time, I'm coming for you. I'm going to get you. But not at Mania. And it's like, what? Cody should be going right nose to nose with him, reiterating this, just rocking his jaw. Punch him in the fucking face. Now that I'm thinking about this, guys, Stone Cold very rarely actually did these kind of soliloquy back and forth. Now that I'm really thinking about it, he didn't really do them that much. And in most Stone Cold segments, if the verbal stuff went past like 2 minutes, he's threatening violence every time he gets a chance to speak. Like, he's like, are you going to get in here? Like, we're going to fight. When are we going to fight? Like, I'm going to fight you if you don't fight me. I'm going to kick somebody's ass, you know? And so I'm not saying Cody Rhodes has to be Steve Austin, but yeah, show some cojones, my man. You know what I mean? Punch him in the fucking face.
You need to be his Gwurts, bro. He needs you up there again. This is the speech he needed on Friday, you know.
And also, take more shots at Roman. Why are you so nice to him? You are a great champion. You are one of the great champions of this sport. You are da 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 da. I mean, yes, but like, and I'm not saying do the opposite, the unproductive thing of like, I'm just gonna bury you and like talk about how much you suck. But you know, I mean, Roman Reigns was a flop for years. You know, you could bring it up. You know.
Yeah, that isn't his character, though. To be fair, like you know that better than I do. He's not something I'm necessarily a huge fan of, but that is the way he's been the entire run, right? He's very like
Joe. Guess what? He was essentially offered / asked like, all right, you can take shots at Liam Ivia on Monday. Last week they told him like take shots at Rock's mom, and he was just like, was like, I'm not doing that.
That would actually be out of character, legitimately. But why would he do? Cody would not respond to something about his mum, but being like, "Well, yeah, your mum." That's good for Cody knowing his character. That would have been so out of character.
I don't know if you saw the promo, Joe, but it was funny. He was like, "You talked about my mom. Let's talk about your mom." And the crowd went, "Oh," and he went, "Well, she's a wonderful lady." And then just pivoted. It was funny. He was like, she's a wonderful lady. She's a nice lady. I don't have a problem with it. So,
all right. More super chats. Keep them coming. People, Mohammed, 10. I feel is that Saudi Arabian. Something.
We never get this.
Ceiling for both main events of Mania. main event of Night 1. I think. How could anybody confidently say what that's gonna do? You know, like.
Yeah.
What's the ceiling for both main events?
Ceiling, I think, on the best possible version, is probably like a 4-star match if we're in star ratings. Which a 4-star version of that match could be one. I think
it's higher. I think it's higher.
Really?
Bro,
I don't know, fellas.
The Rock.
Well, do you know why, Joe? Do you know why, Joe?
If The Rock is like, if your reaction to Rock's performance is he did the damn thing, you know? Like, say if that's what we're saying after, we're impressed and stuff. Roman does his thing because he's in there with The Rock and he's actually bothered. Cody and Seth is obviously going to try and fucking... Seth's going to be like the geeky work rate guy.
4 is very high, though, to be fair. I don't give these out.
But yeah, I think if they do capture the magic of what that match can be,
so that's
a stadium.
The reason why above 4 is the ceiling for me is because an actual successfully executed spectacle is special, Joe. Like who would have thought Bad Bunny and Damian Priest would have a 4.5-star match?
Sure.
So for me, it's like the best version of this with like Superheat and Rock maybe doing like just hanging in there really well and like, you know, stealing people's finishers and just being super charming and fun, and they're trading finishers and the near falls are hot. Then yeah, it's going to be above that because that's going to be an enduring memory in the history of the promotion. Frankly, does it reach the very best version of that? I mean, who knows? It really depends on Dwayne, to be honest with you.
The other issue is we have to be real about, you know, the best version of this match. Whoever Dwayne's partner is will be doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the stuff in between Dwayne's hits. Roman's not. I mean, he's got to wrestle the following night. He hasn't wrestled 2 straight nights since fucking 2019 or some shit, dude. Like,
he is going to pose and put the one up and talk and walk and pose.
I say 4 with like, look, if that match is 3.5, that doesn't mean it won't be a hoot. We're talking star until like losers. The ceiling for the match is it could be fucking awesome, basically, right?
Yeah.
The floor for the match is, even if the physicality is messy and clumsy, the heat and atmosphere for that match will mean that us 3 probably really enjoy it, regardless.
Yeah, actually, I
agree
with that.
Yeah, and so we got to think as well, like in the moment of us watching it, especially if we do watch it live, like if they do start having a good match, like, we're gonna lose it, bro.
I'm really excited, dude.
If he
really
busts
excited.
out the Mahi straw, you know,
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be
arm drags.
If he does the crossroads, you know, if Dwayne does the crossroads,
dude,
like come on.
If Seth Freakin tries to do the Kawada style kicks, quote unquote, to Dwayne the Rock Johnson, I will lose my shit. He needs to do this. Imagine Dwayne, his response to this, getting his forehead all scuffed up by these shitty.
You just know. Though, here's the thing: like the moment where he does that spine buster on Cody Rhodes to set up the rock bottom, the people's elbow, like the energy is going to be so like they literally could bullshit for like 15 minutes, and then they all do their signature stuff at the end.
They are going to bullshit for 15 minutes because like Roman will start. And Roman is
that's his game at this point.
Roman's gonna start. Then they're gonna build to the Rock getting tagged in.
Yeah.
Then the Rock's just gonna stand in there and stare at whoever's in the ring with him, you know, for like 5 minutes.
And the people are gonna be going nuts.
The people will be going insane because of the novelty of, oh my god, the Rock is in the ring throwing punches or locking up with someone or whatever the fuck, you know, and then. They'll do a bit more of that, and they'll go to a closing stretch. You know,
that's the thing. I'm thinking back to the Bloodline tag main events of last year, and how like those were structured. And I actually think simply just plugging in Cody into that structure, and surprisingly, even Freakin', I think makes it better because like as much as I do respect the Usos versus Roman and Solo, I think Cody's a way better hot tag than Jay or Jimmy. Seth Freakin' has surprisingly solid chemistry with Roman Reigns.
You're forgetting the other Bloodline tag. I'll be surprised if it's better than the other Bloodline tag, though.
Wait, the KO one?
Sammy, that match I actually think is like genuinely underrated for matches last year. I think that match is like great, actually.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, and that's not a reflection of Cody Rhodes, but Kevin and Sammy are. I mean. As tag wrestlers, they're incredible.
You're telling me I rewatched 39 last night, and I was like, Kevin Owens, holy shit.
Okay, just quickly, because this has been a great question, but you also rewatched Mania 39.
Yeah.
That match still packs a punch, doesn't it? That Sammy and Kevin title win.
Yeah. The only thing that messes. So here's the thing. Charlotte Rhea has the exact same effect on rewatch. If not, it's slightly better on rewatch to me. KO Sammy it still packs a punch. It's still so dynamic with how it's laid out with like the different hot tags and the different like closing stretch sequences that
create magic, man. It's one of my favorite tag matches that's ever happened in the US. Like even if you go back 40 years or whatever the fuck, you know.
The only thing is though, and this happens with some matches. Part of the magic is you want your guy to win and you don't know if he's gonna win, and so like when he's about to lose, it's like, oh my god, no, oh okay, no, oh my god, no, I get that, and no matter what, because I know the Usos lose, it doesn't have that like heart stopping aspect of it, right? But even still, I'm just sitting back and like My God, the moment where Sammy's hair is blowing in the wind before the third Aluba kick, and the camera zooms in, and he has that little kind of grin on his face. Oh, it's great. Jey Uso, that's the performance of his life. He is so
Yeah.
good. I mean, he in early in the match, he's talking trash, and he's like, "You hear that shit? You hear that shit?" He's like slapping him up, and he's slapping up Sammy.
There's a great moment late where go on, Monty, go for it.
I was going to say, it's easy to forget just like how good Jey Uso was towards the end of that title reign.
Oh, he was terrific. Yeah,
He
absolutely.
was, yeah.
Kevin Owens takes a gnarly table bump at the end of the announce table.
Sami Zayn does an apron brainbuster.
Yeah, like 10 minutes. And then they go into like a 15-minute finish. This is total PWG match. It's hilarious. But the finish, in the finishing stretch, they're at 1D. And Jimmy does it's very smart. Because fans know what's happening nowadays. And if you celebrate a move too much without going to the pin, they know it ain't the finish, you know? But Jimmy celebrates, he's like, it's over, but he doesn't protect his finish, the 1D. He goes for the pin straight away. And you can tell the people are absolutely terrified that they're about to win this match. Like, you can feel it, you know? There's there's a gasp. And there was a similar one at Arthur Ashe when Joe went with MJF. When Joe hit the muscle buster, he pins him straight away. Mm-hmm. And that adds like genuinely about 50% of a punch to the false finish. You know what I mean? Because if Joe stops and looks at the people know subconsciously he ain't getting in with this. But if you go straight for the pin and you're selfless enough to do that for the match, it can make so much more drama. But anyway, both the matches at Mania I think have a ceiling of being awesome.
Flow man, $5. Appreciate you. Cody just simply isn't world champion material. Roman's championship reign, unfortunately, must continue. Dwayne has to save us.
So Flowman is joking, but you know what's funny, guys? Joe, have you been seeing? Because I've been dunking on most of these people because they deserve to be dunked on. But Bloodline Twitter is just going through it right now. Like they are scrambling with any fantasy booking thing that they can think of.
Bro, Bloodline TikTok's funnier.
Bro,
I see creep onto Twitter sometimes.
Bro,
these sad songs.
They think that Seth is turning on Cody. They think this is gonna happen. They think that guy's gonna screw Cody. And yesterday I saw a guy who said, "What if Nick Aldis turns on Cody and screws him?" And Roman wins.
Hear him out.
And just like Bloodline is going through it, Joe, they're digging through 2018 NWA lore that they 100% have never seen.
Dude, imagine Michael Cole yelling about the NWA World's title. 2018, Michael Cole slamming his God damn it, Nick Aldis.
Just imagine, Joe, a spring 2024 Cody Rhodes detour where he has to fight Nick Aldis because he lost again.
Well, I'm imagining it.
Oh, go.
Hush, $2. Appreciate you. What time is Punk on tonight?
I don't know yet.
Collider Clint, £5. Appreciate you. TK, withholding Jungle Jack and using House of Torture as punishment is kind of beast, not going to lie. I mean, it's kind of spiteful, you know.
In case you missed it, Joe, Jungle Jack being put in House of Torture was intentional. It was an intentional punishment, which is fascinating and funny because me and AO were talking about, like, man, like, why, if you're gonna give him an excursion where he can maybe improve, why don't you put him with the War Dog guys and, you know, let him just have some good matches? But why would you put him in House of Torture where his matches are actively going to get negatively affected by the format of the stable? And we came to find out that that was on purpose. Tony was like, fuck that guy, put him in House of Torture.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's an old school punishment. It's very old school. It's very
I don't know. I think there's some reflection that would help him in that situation, to be honest with you. But I have no interest in relitigating it. I just the idea that you look at that entire situation like fucking Jack Perry cost us it all. I don't know, man. It's not quite the way I look at it, but whatever.
Bro was watching Survivor Series and he's like,
yeah,
damn it. House of Torture.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna be his reaction, Joe, because at one of the scrums in maybe like I think it was Wrestle Dream. I don't know if you remember this, Monty. They basically asked him, like, is Punk on a no compete, and what's your reaction if he goes to WWE? And he immediately makes his face of like, oh, no, like it's a pained face. He's just like, oh my god, he felt it. You could tell in the moment he's going through like all the stages of grief, and he's like, Phil's not gonna go there. He's not gonna go there, right?
Yeah, he wasn't happy. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate it. Ibu, you're the CMLL guy here. What are your views on AEW CMLL show this Friday? The women's trios and BCC versus CMLL talent. 2 matches I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, the show looks good. The top matches look fun. I forgot the exact lineup of people, but Willow Nightingale is going to be in a tag on that show, which should be very, very fun. I think she'll get over huge in Rio, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The BCC match, they just replaced Wheeler Yuta with Matt Sydal, which is fascinating. Yeah, so it's going to be BCC and Matt Sydal versus the Lucha Grandfathers. So that'll be like you got like Blue Panther on the other side, and
yeah,
the youngest guy on the other side is like freaking Ultimo Guerrero, and he's like 49. Even though he's still really awesome, he's a sick base. So that's gonna be very fan servicey. Expect that to be a lot of punches on the outside, a lot of punching and chopping at each other, and
loads of punches.
Yeah, Danielson and Blue Panther are gonna just trade submissions in the ring in its own like sick way. That might still be like really awesome.
Novelty, you know.
I was very confused and slightly upset that they're having Sobrano Jr. tag with Atlantis Jr. because like they're mortal enemies, and I was like, why are they facing Dorada and Rocky, who are also rivals? But I was informed by Rob Viper, the Lucha guy. I was informed by him because I asked the timeline. And they're apparently doing like this, because I missed the last month of CMLL. They're doing like this Can They Coexist tag tournament, where the tag tournament is literally like enemies in feuds tagging together in a tournament. And so, yeah, right. And so the finals here is Sobrano Jr. and Atlantis Jr. versus Rocky Romero and Mascara Dorada. So I don't know how that's going to work psychologically, but wrestling-wise, it's going to be really,
should be great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sydal on Blackpool Combat Club is like when an NBA contender gets a vet on like buyout in like March.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, it's like suddenly the Warriors will have someone out there at 38. It's like, oh shit, they're there now. That's what Sydal was like
5 seasons ago was averaging 16 on a team, you know, and like now he's like, you know, you just need him to hit a 3 here and there.
Yeah. Give you a solid 6 minutes.
Some would say it's a slight improvement.
Well, no, I mean, Matt Sydal's way better than Wheeler Yuta, but it's just still funny, like in terms of positioning and stuff.
Yeah, good for Matt. Good for him.
Yeah, made it in Arena Mexico.
Hush, $5. Appreciate it. Y'all agree with Kenny 4.5 for Ray versus Angle. I like his approach and explanation, but I didn't expect it to be that high. Nonetheless, still amazing. I haven't been watching Kenny Omega's live streams, to be very brutally honest with you guys. 4.5 for Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. I haven't watched that match in years, so my opinion would be
it's very awesome.
You know,
it's
I know it's a good match, but to give it a rating, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't either, but it is very sick.
It sounds about right.
It's a gorgeous sprint. They go like 9 minutes, and it's just go. It's maybe 4.25 stars. I love the match to death. It's very watchable because it's like 9 minutes again as an opener.
Their matches are really good, though. They have really good chemistry, and I think, you know, we have our fun with the Kurt. But I actually think Ray's such a great opponent for him because Ray, he just wants to sell, right? Like I could wrestle Ray on TV next week and he'd be like, "What have you got?" You know, I mean, what's your offense? You know, with Kurt, giving him a wrestler where it's just a blank slate, like do all of your coolest, most physically impressive shit to this dude and be an animal. That's like Kurt. That's his guys. They have great matches. That one's no different.
Kurt takes a West Coast pop like he's a 2017 PWG wrestler, but it's O2. So it's funny, Monty, because like everybody, like if you go back to like Nitro, like Ray will do the West Coast pop to people, and some guys take it kind of awkwardly, and like he kind of like the transition into the pin is a little slow or sluggish. Kurt. Like Ray jumps on Kurt and does that like springboard flippy Rana thing, and Kurt flips with it like it's a Spanish fly. And it's like, Christ.
That's Kurt's prime. You know, I think Kurt, after a couple years pro, when he still physically is unlike almost any wrestler we've ever seen, that version's a demon. I mean, you can put that version of Kurt up against anyone, I think.
And the way he flings Ray around because he's small, bro. Like, oh my goodness.
Yep.
Shorts on Spurs, $10. Appreciate you very much. Joe, finally saw The Holdovers. Tremendous film. How does everyone believe CM Punk's promo is going to go tonight? Fiery support of Cody, passive-aggressive fourth wall breaking references, ?
Good question. I have no idea, actually. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's a hard promo to cut because the Drew McIntyre thing, the issue there already is that it feels like it's more about Drew versus Punk than Drew versus Seth. So you don't want to make that worse. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a challenging situation. I'm not sure. But yes, the Holdovers does rule. I don't know. What do we think, fellas?
I think that he's gonna first of all, I think that you're going to see Punk throughout the night, which I'm looking forward to. I think he's going to be running into people and having little snippy quips at people, which again, that'll be fun. Regarding his promo, he's either going to run into Cody and just kind of be like, good luck, or he's going to just make mention of Cody's plight in his promo before he gets interrupted and just kind of like show some support there. Drew McIntyre is inevitably going to interrupt CM Punk, or Drew McIntyre is going to speak and Punk is going to interrupt him. Because they could do some shtick there. They could do the "Who's Your Daddy" Montreal thing here, where Drew comes out to Cult of Personality or this fire burns and he trolls and he's like, I was up the block and I was eating Mindy's Bakery. And he gets to do it like,
your Drew's got worse, dude. That was crazy.
He now sounds like he's in pain.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, that part's accurate. It's more the
but yeah, like he could just do all that shtick and like troll Chicago and Punk comes out or whatever. You could do that, or you could just do Punk cuts his promo, his basic promo, and then like Drew comes out for that. But the point is, Punk's gonna be in a segment with Seth and Seth and Drew tonight, likely, like very likely.
Yeah.
But I do think, again, I think we just see him throughout the night just running into people and saying things. Punk has an affinity for Rhea Ripley in kayfabe and in reality. He just, like, Rhea Ripley just pops him. The last, like, a few Raws ago, Joe, I don't know if you remember this, Monty. Punk runs into Judgment Day or whatever, and they're just kind of, he's just kind of like, he's like, where's mommy? And he posted on his Instagram story. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he was just kind of like, yeah, Rhea was the big story of the weekend on the house shows, and went at the top, and he posted the meme of him kissing Cody Rhodes. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if he makes a joke about this on air. You know, he'll do it. He'll happily be like, I missed a lot while I was gone. People getting funny on house shows. People da 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 da. He'll absolutely say something like that if he wanted to.
Yeah, we'll see. Sapito 499, appreciate it. Congratulations. TK just gave Will Washington the pen for Women's Collision. He wants to create a SmackDown 6 to revitalize the division. Who's in it? Can sign one wrestler.
Worldwide. I thought we were Washington too. So, okay. SmackDown 6. All right. Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
Athena.
Yes.
Willow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be careful because I don't want to lock anyone in. Chris needs to be in there.
Okay. Woo! That's 4.
Right. Now these last 2 spots.
Want to throw them right?
Do we go Riho? I would go Riho, but I don't want to talk for you guys. I would go Riho and Deeb, I think.
Deeb's a good one.
Mariah. What about Mariah?
Yeah, I was yelling. I was like, Mariah May.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, my bad.
That's a good 6.
Even Mariah is the last 2, yeah?
So Mercedes, Mercedes, Athena, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, and you're saying Mariah May and Serena Deeb?
Yeah, and when Jamie gets back, she obviously, I mean, this is talking about who's active, I guess, right? But so that actually tells you, like, that division, we've said it a million times, there's some serious talent in there, dude.
Yeah, he's not just positioning him in the right spots. I guess right outside of that SmackDown 6 that are kind of active, like who, like our Matt Hardys and Tajiri's and Bill Kidman's would be I'm assuming like Queen Aminata, people like that.
Riho,
Sheeta. Yeah.
Well,
Mercedes Martinez, I want to get in the ball game too. Like,
so,
I think Mercedes Martinez.
Okay, so then who's Brock Lesnar outside of it, but a key piece who's
Well, that's how. I mean, I would use. That's how I would if we were actually doing the comparison. I think Athena should
Athena's Brock Lesnar.
I think Athena's presentation should be Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
What she did on Dark, I think there should be like a genuine sense of fear when people wrestle. She can have great matches in a traditional sense, but that's all well and good. But first, I would get her over as like a knockout artist, basically.
Stop right there, Joe. We're amending this. Athena is out of the Collision 6 because she is Brock Lesnar. Boom. We're putting that in. She is that big figure. So then who is Undertaker? Who is the veteran in-event level figure that goes back and forth toe-to-toe with Athena for a 2-month program and puts Athena over? Who is this figure, Joe Holbert? Is it DMD? Are we going with, like, who are we going with here?
No, it's not DMD.
Yeah, you go Thunder Rosa before DMD.
I mean, in terms of her, she can't do this because she has no TV overness, but Mercedes Martinez would be the right like performer for that.
Big
Can you
dog.
imagine her with like the cast, the way taking him when he went Brock? Like I saw a clip the other day from when there was an indie War Games match. I can't remember the women's wrestling promotion. They did a War Games match in like 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's a few things in it that were very unfortunate, but someone posted a couple clips of Mercedes' performance here. She was so good so long before people actually like cared or like could give her credit. Or I hope she has a contract in Graps for as long as she wants one, dude. Like it's really her timing was a shame. But yeah.
So Taker's Thunder Rosa. She's the veteran.
Yes.
She's not gonna be in the weekly tags, flipping around like the kids are to kind of get over, but she's respected. She's gonna fight Athena and lose valiantly. So she's Taker. Brock Lesnar is Athena, and our 6 are Mercedes, Statlander, Deeb, Willow, Mariah May, and then we have to pull one of the outside orbit guys inside the circle.
I think we just put Jamie in there and wait for her to get back, right?
Sure. Okay, so Jamie Hayter. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Awesome division.
Yeah.
I've said it for a minute, man. They've got the talent in that division, and this was before the sign Mercedes, Moné, Mariah May, and all these people. So
I got a funny one. Who's
Anna Jay?
Oh, come on.
Anyway, Huncho 499. It's sad that a phony cornball pandering Iron Man cosplaying dweeb is the guy who's going to end Roman's generation run. So run SMH. Okay. Dar Walker, £2. Appreciate you. Any chances get Brett Lauderdale for WrestlePurists interview? I mean, I guess.
I ran into him at Arthur Ashe.
Yeah, we could interview Brett Lauderdale. He's like the only successful indie promoter around, So nah, I'm joking, guys. There's a few, But...
Yeah, there's like 2 maybe.
Cody Wills 499. Appreciate you. With the world famous Green Grappler tomorrow night, what is Monty and Ibu's favorite Mr. Perfect match or moment? I don't know. I only know the cliches, man. So I feel like I can't really talk on it. It'd be like, Bret Hart or like some shit,
Honestly, mate, there's not a ton of deep.
He had quite a short,
Yeah, his prime's quite short.
Because like, when he falls off,
he's thinking about a fall off. It's that like his runs are disjointed because of his injuries.
Yeah.
He'll do stuff and then I'll tell you what, I'll name some deep cuts that I like. He has a match with the Blue Blazer Owen Hart on a Saturday Night's Main Event. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
There's the Owen Hart match that I've watched the most is the one he had on Nitro in late '97 that Dave went 3 3/4 on. It's really awesome. It's against a certain person.
I know what it is because it's the only good match he had in WCW.
The thing you said last week, bro, about Ibu, like you can set a timer of how long you can talk about any graps from like the 90s or early 2000s.
He's gonna come.
And you are a few seconds away from a certain person being named.
He has a match in late '97 that's really awesome, and then the post-match angle, Ric Flair cuts a good promo. Who knows who wrestled? That's up for you to check on Cage Match for the only cage match, perfect match over a 7 in '97. But he does his thing.
Hennig is a guy who, because he looked the same the whole time, people don't really like. Kurt Hennig, God bless him. WCW hurt Kurt Hennig is one of the most watched wrestlers like we've seen in recorded history. Here's what he is like, because the way he wrestled when he's back, when he couldn't do that anymore. He just couldn't. He never figured out how to adjust. It's a shame.
Yo, he has 1989 house show matches with Brett that are awesome.
Yes,
2 years before the famous SummerSlam match.
Yeah.
Jacob Donnelly, $5. Appreciate it. Gonna need Drew to come out to Punk's music, but use these fire burns instead for Mega Heat.
Would be very funny.
You could see I think Ibu mentioned it earlier, but obviously this super chat was from earlier. Will Chisholm, $5. Appreciate it. It does feel like some fans are ready for the Cody versus Rock one-on-one match whenever it happens.
When would you
of course. Of course. When do I think that'll happen? I don't think that's like set in stone yet.
No, I said when would you do it?
Oh,
The SummerSlam.
it depends. It depends what direction the Rock and Roman stuff goes in. Like, if Rock does do the thing, but with fantasy booked and like tries to kick Roman out the family, you're gonna want that to play out over longer than 6 months. You know, so it's like after that's done, where it's like, okay, what does Rock do now if he's still available to us? That's when you can be like, okay, we can do the Cody thing. You know, because like I said, if we do go straight into like a Roman feud, like that should probably it probably will and probably should play out longer than just like a couple months.
I'm not. I have to be honest. I'm not convinced Cody and Rock actually have the singles.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's a shame because I think we're going to get a lot of it in the tag, but I don't think we'll ever quite. Hopefully, we do. I'd love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Austin Kinkle in the chat said modern Kyrie is WCW.
That's crazy. Look, I haven't seen a lot of Kyrie. I've seen some unfortunate forms. Trust me, she's not WCW Hennig. It was
yeah, this is what a lot of like younger fans and stuff say. You know, it's like there's levels. You know, there's levels of watching terrible TV wrestling.
That's the thing. I mean, it's funny we're doing this with because I know he popped himself for that tweet over the weekend, but guys will get called washed now when they go to the down to having like 3 and 3/4 star matches. And it's like, brother, back in the day, washed was when you couldn't fall down in the ring anymore.
Jake the Snake was still getting booked when he was, you know, heroes of wrestling, brother.
He couldn't bump on his DDT at one point, bro. It was crazy. And he was still out there hooping.
This is such an exaggeration, but I tweeted Jericho as in his Heroes of Wrestling Jake Roberts face.
Yeah, I saw that was nasty.
That's very, very spiteful.
Joe, Kyrie in her prime was a 26 points per game league leading scorer that could lead a team to a 3rd seed in a conference. And in NXT, Kyrie was a 19 point per game scorer that was, you know, still great at driving to the rim. Current Kyrie saying, look, you cut to her, she's 3-and-D, gives you 11 points. You want that in your rotation, you know? Good defense, you know? Hit some threes. That's what Kyrie is.
Richard Jefferson on the Cavs.
Yeah, Richard Jefferson. He's San Antonio Richard Jefferson.
Tribal Kev 199. Appreciate it. Cena is the master of it. I think he's talking about face-to-face promos because his feel real. Wow.
You
know,
well, I don't know about that. I'm glad you like them, but some of those are the worst examples of that to me. Like, now I'd use my prepared button, you know, fine speech. Yeah, not for me.
Nightmare LLC, $2.79. Appreciate it. Punk on commentary / 2021 G1 callback. So Punk on commentary. I mentioned on the podcast yesterday, I'd pop for CM Punk on commentary, whether it's on Raw tonight, whether it's at WrestleMania. So yes, 2021 G1 callback. I won't go that far, but whenever you watch him, he's good. Like, everyone was popping on the timeline on Friday because he had like a good sequence and shit. He had like a good performance. But like, Carl's good whenever you watch him, man. Like, did he phone it in a lot in AEW? You know, maybe.
TNA. Since they've gone back to WWE, when they've actually been booked, Carl's actually had pretty good performances. They just haven't been booked a lot because obviously there's like much. Match. Yeah, exactly. Like, look, and that's not a criticism of creative. There's much bigger priorities than 45-year-old Machine Gun Guy, and I think he's very aware of that. But if you actually watch the game tape, as a wrestler, he's aging very, very gracefully.
Yes,
he's 44, absolutely. Man. Like, he looks great physically too. So good for Cole.
He should wrestle CM Punk.
Agreed.
I'd watch it. Huncho 499. Appreciate it. Oh, I acknowledge the tribal chief, in quotes. Kids will grow up wanting to be Roman Reigns, also in quotes. Roman, I shake your hand, insert Bullet Club reference or gesture, ... Go fuck yourself. Very angry, you know. Sometimes you can feel the emotion, you know. Brian Buster 499, appreciate it. Hey, Ibu, have you seen Minoru Suzuki versus Kensuke Sasaki in 04? I watched it for the first time last night and it ruled. Of course he's seen it.
Of course I've seen it.
Of course, I know that, you know.
I've seen every major Kensuke Sasaki match once he became a great wrestler, which is about 1997. I thought about this match when Dave Meltzer aggressively said that Ospreay is way, way better than Kensuke Sasaki. And I mean, tastes are different, but like, let's stop playing with this man. You know, stop playing.
Akiva, $5, appreciate it. Rock and Roman should lose night 1, forcing Rock to use his TKO power to make night 2 bloodline rules anyway.
That would be very funny, but I don't
it'd
know.
be funny, but that would be like quite lame. Because like, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it would be very corporation Vince. You know,
like if he uses his TKO power, if he uses his TKO power, it should be to like do something that isn't bloodline rules, but still fucks Cody over. Because what's the point of him putting up bloodline rules? It's a stipulation because he made it the stipulation, you know. So, yeah, I don't know about all that. Trust the process. 499. Appreciate it. Need AO's PI to find some incriminating evidence on Cody Rhodes before WrestleMania. It's our only chance to be saved from a Cookie Rhodes title. Listen, AO likes Cody Rhodes, bro. He just runs agendas because it would be very funny as a non-WWE fan to see them do that. You know, have Cody Rhodes trot out there and lose again. It would be very funny. So he's rooting for jokes to get off on the timeline. You know what I mean? But he don't hate Cody Rhodes, bro. He said it last night. Like,
if I wasn't invested, Cody losing last year would have been hysterical.
Yeah, but it's still like, even I still found the humor in it, but it's just kind of like
it was surreal.
It's a bad booking. It was just like a bad booking decision. Then like the way Triple H went up there at the press conference and tried to explain, it was like brutal as well. So you got all these fans just scratching their heads, angry, emotional, all this shit.
Bro, John Alba basically was like, John Alba, Fightful, Hunter, what the fuck? And he's just kind of like,
what a beast.
The real adult in the room, you know.
Hey, man, like, you pride yourself on stories and concluding stories. Why didn't you conclude this one? And he's like, the story never ends. It's like, go fuck.
That was so lame, dude.
Oh, it happened. Yeah. Hush, $2, appreciate it. Drew being the biggest winner of Brawl Out / all brawling is funny. I mean,
I'm well for himself, bro.
Yeah.
Who would have seen this coming, right? Drew being like this big personality, like very good wrestler, but he was never
a person on this panel.
Yeah.
He was very much fighting and clawing to just see that heel turn happen, you know?
True, but did you foresee this version of him as a heel?
Not quite.
Absolutely.
No. He's never shown personality like
this. Is like a victory jog, you know, not a full-on laugh, you know? This is more...
No, you're right. You were big on him being a heel, and I think we all agree about the in-ring part of it, but as a character, it's different than I ever expected.
It's like, I knew being a heel would suit him more as a personality, but I didn't expect it to go like this direction, you know?
The crazy thing about it is when he transitioned, it was like, oh, this is a very well-written character with logical motivations for turning, right? It was like, that was the thing with him. And I was like, oh, man, Drew's one of the better characters on the show. Now he's that, but he's also, like, funny as fuck.
He's always had like a little bit of wit to him, though, man. Because, like, remember when he was Dolph's big man? Great times, you know? I thought he was great in that run, to be honest. But, bro, remember, there's like that clip that goes viral like once a year, bro, where Ricochet is out there, they're doing an in-ring promo.
That is funny,
he's like, oh, I'm not out here to talk and that, and Drew just cuts him off like, shut up then. And the crowd just
guess I guess it's not that he's never been funny, it's more he's dressing it up in a way that is a lot more like loud and glossy for pro wrestling, you know? Like,
he's a beast, man.
Yeah, he definitely strikes something that could be kind of dry at times and funny, but it's yeah, it's been cool to see. I'm like a huge fan, but I'm always happy to see guys find something. Yeah, this is the form of his life,
cool,
you know?
Yeah. And his matches are still great as well. Like, that's never really been a thing that I've kind of worried about with Drew.
Very, very good wrestler.
He's literally the whole time he's been on the main roster, and even before then on the indies and stuff. Like, he's been a very, very good worker. So there he is. Mazfan84 199, appreciate it. Could the Rock tag top the Sting retirement tag? I don't know.
That was
That was magic.
1 of 1. Yeah, it was insane match, dude. Like the Derby bump.
That shouldn't be anyone's bar because like
no, I think that match is gonna. That match was
special night, you know.
Probably the best thing I've seen in all years thus far. So yeah,
it's Ash's match of the decade, and like who could argue with him? You know,
it was special, dude.
Yeah.
Matt Hennessy, $5.99. Night 1 of WrestleMania should have Roman pin Cody to give us a cliffhanger, and Roman can say he beat Cody twice. Cody then beats Roman night 2. Ibu?
I think Rock pins Cody. Ibu, what do you reckon?
He's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Rock pins Cody as well. Who was it who said Rob? Rob thinks Rock is going to pin Seth.
That'll be beast. I think Rock pins Cody, which then sets up him being like Roman let down the family. You know, I did it. Why couldn't you do it? That kind of vibe.
I don't know if does Ibu know that he's muted. I don't know what he's doing, but we'll see.
He did say he may be busy at this point, so we'll see. We'll let it play out.
God bless him. Trust the process. 34.199. Appreciate it. Cody's title run over under 1.5 Mania total defenses. I've said this before, man. Like Cody's first run, he'll probably get like a really like lengthy reign with it, you know, like for beating Roman and stuff like that. But I just don't. I think we've spoke about this on the podcast before. It's like these lengthy title reigns that have become like the trend now. It's like if you look back at, I know everyone, it's kind of a cliche when this comes up to just go back to like, oh well, The Rock's longest title reign was 90 days or whatever. You know what I mean? Because that is kind of a cliche that people go to with this. But there is something to it in the sense of like Stone Cold, Rock, Triple H, like in that era, they were kind of, you know, everyone was kind of getting a go with the belt, but they were the three central characters. But also the other main eventers were getting like their chances with the belt. Undertaker, Kane, Foley, you know. So there is a way to do it where Cody is still the guy, like Austin was the guy, but he doesn't have the title all the time. But he's always kind of in like the orbit or
he's
not
the main
too
character.
far from it.
Yeah.
So they've done it with Cena as well, but Cena had obviously a lot more title reigns, and some of them were a lot more lengthier. But there was times when he didn't have the belt where, you know, kind of a bad example because they would do like John Laurinaitis, and he would be like the main event with Laurinaitis.
I get what you mean, though. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
It's more complex than just you have to have the belt the whole time to be the top guy. But
wait, what happened?
We're just talking about Cody Rhodes,
right?
Little known American nightmare wrestler.
Don't come in all like shocked and surprised mid conversation. You know,
he's startled.
Cut Joe off mid sentence.
I think I agree with everything you said, honestly, but I think his first reign, especially under Triple H, I think it's going to be very, very long.
I think it'll be one Mania. I think he could drop it at 41.
I think he'll drop it in the summer of 25. So I think he'll have one Mania defense and then drop it after that.
It'd be cool if he had like a feud where it was worth him going back and forth with it. So like say,
do
you know what I mean? Like he has his first reign, and then when it comes to him facing Gunther,
so Gunther's getting the other belt, isn't he? Soon, right?
I don't know.
We all agree on this.
I don't know.
I think it goes Drew, Sammy, Gunther. Personally, that's my personal read on it. If not, then you can look at Gunther and Cody.
That was kind of. Was that the show? Was it a World War where I did that fucking elaborate prediction about the IC world title?
On the Raw review.
As a Raw review.
Okay.
You popped in on a Raw review for 15 minutes and gave a really elaborate diagram about where this
forgot it already.
yeah, ready.
Like, I think that was the way I thought the world heavyweight title was going to go. So
that makes sense to me. Sammy finishes his story. God, that phrase is, but he does that against Drew, and then I think it's a short reign, and you have Gunther just destroy Sammy. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Punk and Drew, I would not do for the belt. I would have Drew. I'd actually probably have Punk play a part in Drew losing the belt. Would probably be my pitch.
Punk, bro, depending on when Punk comes back, you obviously have to do the Drew thing. The Seth thing you'll have to do at some point, but maybe not immediately. You know,
Yeah.
he could be in the other world title soon.
For sure. With Punk, it's just a matter of staying in the game, bro. If he's in the game, he's going to be one of the main characters. Like,
Yep.
CM Punk,
Right.
you know?
Trouble Kev, 199. The crowd when Rock gets tagged in, Rocky chants. Absolutely. It's going to be, like I said, they're going to milk that for like 5 minutes, bro. Started Math 499, appreciate yeah. Perfect Mania ending is Cody finishing his story, fending off the entire bloodline family tree. He celebrates, but suddenly Damian Priest cashes in to finish his story. Absolutely not. Come on.
Body should win that
Imagine ending Mania with a heel Money in the Bank cash in.
And
Even
especially
if you
Damian
don't,
Priest.
yeah, I was going to say, even if you like relegate the fact that like I like Damian Priest, I think he's very good in the role that he's in and stuff, but you know, this ain't exactly fucking.
It's just it is what it is. Like Priest is good and all, but you're doing a Cody Roman match trying to 4-year title already. He cannot be involved in that picture. It'd be insane.
Kale, $20 mix, or whatever it is. Ibu, sorry to inform you, Raw set has a big screen.
What? What?
Ibu's going to be frantically scrolling his phone for the next 2 minutes, so we'll let him do that. Wooly, 199, appreciate you.
Twitter, just DM it to me. Just DM me the picture, so I don't have to do the searching, please.
But Collision opposite Mania match time and results. Well, why? You can kind of just do anything, can't you? Because it's a punt at that point. You're going
the time that show is on is insane.
They're doing 11:30 Eastern, aren't they? I think it's 11:30 Eastern.
It is. Okay, who's Roddy working?
That's where we're immediately going. Rocky Romero.
Roddy and Rock. Give him 15. Tear it up, fellas. The world is watching, boys. Get out there.
Rocky Romero and Roddy.
Should we do the astronauts FTR match on that show?
Get the astronauts in.
Get them in. Give them half hour.
just try to get the Montesio 4.5 or something.
Big stakes, fellas. The spreadsheets are open. Get them. And we'll do.
Good shit.
What's the funniest Mercedes match you could do on that show? And it goes on as soon as Mania ends. The idea that people are going to turn to TNT is incredible. So
Layla Hirsch.
Layla Hirsch, yes. Mercedes. I was going to thought you were going to say Layla Gray.
It's not hilarious enough, you know.
The quirkiest Mercedes match. Chaz said Saraya.
I was going to say Saraya, but
Saraya. Try to get the casual WWF fan, brother.
I don't know. Martin Stallworth, $4.99. Appreciate you, brother. Which fan base comes up with more fake stats? Bloodline stands or J. Cole stands? Oh, it's close. It's close.
Over race. I've missed this Bloodline stuff. I'm kind of bummed out about it. It sounds very funny.
I'll give the edge to Cole.
Yeah. Rightly so, I think.
We'll choose on $5. Appreciate you. If there wouldn't be any backlash, would Tony bring in Tessa at Forbidden Door? Lol. I don't think so, to be honest.
Why at Forbidden Door? Like,
also, you got to think, bro. Like, it's not just the backlash that you'd get now. Like, let's be real, bro. It's been what 4 years now. 5 years now. Like, who is Tessa Blanchard in 2024, bro? Like, you know,
to be clear, chat, I get she works MOL, but I don't think she's like I think if Tony Khan, you know, again, I don't think he does. But if he did want her, I don't think he'd be like, oh shit, I've got to wait out this MOL contract and do a one shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. It's one of those situations where wrestling companies have no morality, but the juice isn't worth the squeeze of her because, as Monty says, it's been 4 years. She wasn't like a massive star before. So She was a very, very talented wrestler.
juice. Yeah, she had some juice.
She was a very talented wrestler.
You know?
She just
like she was
at this
gaining
point-
popularity, but she obviously is a horrible person. So
exactly.
you know, yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? We got
Yeah.
Britt Baker, DMD, as the centerpiece of the division instead, and we are where we are now, and now it's Mercedes. So it all worked out in the end, didn't it, folks? You know. Starting math, $4.99. Appreciate it. Monty, imagine Mania after Raw. Cody is celebrating the title win. Out comes over to challenge Cody and beats him for the title that night. Beast. So you're like, nah, brother, you're blowing your load too fast. You know, like, you gotta put time and care into this. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta put, listen, I'm telling you, SummerSlam 2025. Obafemi, Cody Rhodes.
Big business.
You know, I've got a whole document about this, so
I've heard about this document.
Yeah, so when we drop the Patreon, it'll be I'll upload it there as a you know,
historical document. PDF file.
Anwar Starwin, $5. Appreciate it. What is currently your favorite match of 2020 to 2024 era? Stolen from Peps. Diddy is headed to Impel Down. Favorite match from 2020 to 2024 era. Favorite.
That's a weird way to word it. They could just. Why didn't the person just say this decade?
No, man, it's a super chat. Be nice.
You know, there was people arguing about what a decade is on the timeline earlier, so maybe you saw that and thought, let me be super specific here.
Yeah.
I have a good answer for this.
Go on, mate. Go for it.
Anarchy in the Arena 1.
That's up there for me.
That's in the thing that's kind of like circling my head right now. There's like
up there.
3 or 4 matches. Briscoe's FTR 3 is like special to me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't particularly. If you said to me best match of the 2020s so far, I probably wouldn't say that. But in terms of my personal favorite, especially what it means now in hindsight, that's one of my favorite matches ever. Like so.
Yeah, I'm in the same series. My favorite match would be FTR Briscoe's 1. So yeah.
That's what I mean. So there's FTR Briscoe's 3 and 1, Anarchy in the Arena.
Kenny and Will at the Dome. Unbelievable.
Number
match.
1, yeah.
Yeah.
Another number, yeah.
I was actually just going to say, so what would be the basic bitch answers for this?
Probably the one I just said.
Right.
The Omega Ospreay one.
I don't know.
You know what was great? Peyton brings up in the chat. I love this match. I know it became a little bit polarizing. I loved the Lucha Bros title win match in the cage with the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
I thought that was a very special moment in time. Like the post match.
Yeah.
Good God.
Mm-hmm.
Omega Ospreay. Gunther Dragunov is a good one.
Yep.
I thought their second one was unbelievable. 2
incredible matches. The fact that they'd done that, the first one, it was like mid-pandemic, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
Incredible stuff. I don't know, man. There's probably a Bryan match in there as well.
For sure. There's some crazy Bryan matches, yeah.
It's
Bryan's like the king of the 4.5 now, hilariously.
The king of the 4.5. We've lost our minds.
Right. There's a certain 90s 2000 wrestler that was the king of the 4.
Someone said Tanahashi Shingo in the Dome. That was like that was mid-pandemic as well. And I remember being like completely blown away at like that match being as good as because it had no right to be that good.
No,
that match didn't. It just
that's
like
a classic.
Tanner was Tanner because Tanner wasn't meant to wrestle in that match, was he? He got called on like a week, not even a week out. He was like 2 days out, wasn't he?
Like a few days.
And who did a call on to main event the Tokyo Dome? You know, world title match, of course. The old boy Tanahashi.
It's one of his last great matches, dude.
Absolutely,
it really is.
And obviously Shingo's in like the form of his life at that point as well. You know, so
that match is unbelievable,
incredible,
so good. Joe, I went on my notes app and I wrote like 5 pages on Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah, because that's the sort of match it is, though, where you just think this guy is genuinely one of the greatest wrestlers that ever lived. Like, it's one of those matches. Yeah, man, Shingo was unbelievable because he had the card match like not long before. I think it was before, or it might have been just after. But it was in that same time period as well. Where like, Shingo was just an animal in the pandemic, man. So yeah, there's probably a few Shingo matches, you know, in that coming to mind with this.
Yeah, the cop.
Obviously, Ospreay's got a crazy catalog.
Yeah. Chat brings up to Kingston and Punk was was an experience, bro. That was like being on drugs. It was crazy.
Watching that live.
Joe Punk.
Watching that live was.
I'm not doing that, please.
watching Kingston Punk live is like. It was like delirium for me.
Yeah, it was like being on it was like an actual thriller.
Dude. Someone turned around and said to me, Swerve Page from like when they're just fucking stapling each other and shit, you know. Like, there's nothing like that that's happened so far, you know.
Kingston Punk. I remember a few days earlier, Joe. I tweeted a picture of Funk and Flair, the I Quit match. No. I think I tweeted I tweeted the freaking Great American Bash one because there was color in the picture, and I said, "This is what I want from Punk versus Kingston." And I remember when I watched that match, that was the first inkling in my mind that Punk reads my tweets. I was like, I don't know, you know. And then, what a match!
They should have done a whole program, dude.
Yeah, there was so much more. They could have done a cage match, an actual good cage match.
I Quit match.
Oh my god! And then I wanted them to get back to it in Collision, and they didn't do it. Fuck.
Jacob Donnelly, $5, appreciate it. If Rocky's psychotic enough to take a Buckle Bomb or Falcon Arrow, match will be an instant 4-star. Fair.
Falcon Arrow would be the Superflex would be enough, I think, for Dwayne.
Hamid, $10, 10, whatever that is. How would you book the main matches of All In? Still so far out, bro.
Omega Okada.
Yep, Ospreay Swerve for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes Jamie.
What's Danielson?
Danielson and Nigel.
Oh yeah.
Probably Bucks, Edge and Christian, or Cope and Christian. Maybe FTR, Cope and Christian. It depends whether they're babyface or heel.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if there's any others.
Who are we missing in terms of top guys now? After every week,
I think Joe's going to work with Hook. To be honest, but I would do Joe and Zach. Zach should have a match at Wembley, dude. He should.
Yeah, of course he should. Should have had one last year.
He's like, that would be a great moment, and I think with Joe, it would be a better match for a stadium than him just sitting on the mat grappling with someone, you know.
So you know what? If Mercedes is facing Jamie,
yep.
What if Athena relinquished her ROH belt, and she goes on a Path of Rage 96 Taz style on the main show? And Willow at this point has been the TBS champion for 3-4 months. And the big draw here is Athena versus Willow, TBS belt. Athena has beaten Willow the previous time, and she's still undefeated. Can Willow retain here?
I'm going to this show, so yes, you should book Athena.
100%. But yeah, there's a few matches. Hutch, $2, appreciate it. Ibu, as of now, how confident are you in Cody? What percentage?
Here's the thing. In some of his promos, he literally said, like, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but he's been saying, like, there is no next year. There is no next time. If I don't win here, like, that's just it for me. He was saying that type of stuff. It wasn't like an overt stipulation, but that's how he was talking in some of his promos. He was just like, this is my last shot to do
What's the number, Ibu?
I think there is a 85% chance he's winning.
Reasonable doubt. Samganda, 14 Zar. Ceiling on Braun Breaker versus Roman's match. Who goes over? Depends what happens.
I can lay out a Braun Breaker Roman Reigns match that's 4 stars, but I would have to lay it out.
Yeah, if they did bombs, it would be sick. I think the way Roman currently wrestles, as much as I enjoy it, would not be a good fit for Braun Breaker, to be honest. Braun sitting there while Roman does his shit. Yeah, I don't know.
If you could get convinced to do a bomb fest, then
it would be awesome, yeah. Absolutely.
Joe, did you see the video package for Braun Breaker on SmackDown?
I did, yeah. You were very excited about it. Very excited about it.
Anyway,
Like, pop me.
it said the Braun Breaker, a whole new generation of athlete or something like that.
New level of performance, you will.
A new level of performance.
Corey Dave.
Wait, hold on, Monty. AO claimed to me that they super lied about his stats because we were watching it, right?
Bro, did you see him?
I've
got him here. I've got.
So listen, they claimed he ran a 4.34. I just didn't think anything of it, right? And AO told me, he said, brother, if a white man ran a 4.34, he said, like, he'd be in the NFL. He'd be one of the best
40-yard sprint, 4.37. Vertical jump, 34.2. Bench press, 225 pounds for 38. Broad jump, 10 foot 2 inches. This is my favorite. Right, this is my favorite. In ring shuttle, 4.2 seconds.
That fucking rules.
I will say, even though they did goose up the stats, of course, Dave had been very, very on top of the fact that apparently, like, when it comes to like those PC drills, Braun like achieved all-time numbers. Like he's apparently like the leader in like most PC drills ever.
Yeah, he is.
They also should lie because it's fake.
Yeah,
100%. He's 6'4". You know, he's
6'4".
280.
No, he's genuinely a freak athlete.
Yeah, as long as he is actually athletic and can make it, he could somewhat pull it off. Fucking do it.
Lie. As long as there's something to buy into it.
Yeah. Joe, could you imagine 92 Jim Ross commentating Braun Breaker?
I'd love to hear it, bro. I'd love to hear it.
Corey David, $2. What happens first? Sexy Red on WWE or Meg on AEW? Sexy Red on WWE. I'd say Sexy Red on WWE.
Well, we have a disagreement.
If Meg shows up on a wrestling show, it'll be WWE, bro. We're talking Meg the Stallion, I'm assuming.
I think Tony Khan could get Meg to make an appearance for Mercedes. I think he'd do it.
What an incredible conversation.
Mercedes would have to push it because Tony Khan's not just going to reach out to Megan the Stallion.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? On Instagram.
No.
Where's WWE, bro? You know, WWE are sluts. So
they are. In fact, I don't know what town Sexy Red is from, but like, isn't she from Houston? I don't remember, but like, they literally could do like a Raw in Houston.
She could just be there. Yeah,
she just be.
She's tweeted about it a few times now.
Yeah.
Sexy Red has.
It was a couple of weeks ago, and Travis Scott was there with J.U. So,
bro,
bro, WWE, the whores, man.
Joe, up to him ringside, Travis Scott, that is, and like, he just like lost his mind. He just stood up out of his chair and he was like, "Let's fucking go." I was like, Travis, relax, man. It's not a concert. Yeah.
What sort of question is this, bro? Corey David, $2. Ibu, is there any new PC baddies stories? Why is he? I don't even.
What kind of stories are we talking?
I don't even know. Like Ibu comes on here and starts telling us like who's fucking who and shit. Like,
I don't do that.
What the fuck?
But the PC is full of many baddies that post on their Instagram stories. If that's what you're inquiring here.
I don't know, man. Cody Wills, $1.99. Appreciate it. What's Dustin Rhodes' situation possible for not to? Well, he's signed to AEW, so. Cody, I guess
if Dustin did show up, that'd be hilarious.
It would,
It'd be
bro.
So
it would
awesome.
be. It would be very funny and awesome if Cody just rang Tony Khan and begged and pleaded with him, like, please let me have my brother for one night, and while you're at it, throw in some Arn Anderson, Jake the Snake.
You know what? I actually think if Cody directly called Tony would do it.
Oh yeah, I think Tony, because Tony, you know,
he's a softie.
He's a softie.
Yeah. If Cody was doing his Cody thing on the phone, he's like, this means everything to me.
They should do like one of the, remember back in the day, TNA got they let WWE have Ric Flair and they got like a one-off Christian Cage promo.
When did that happen?
In 2012. We need some of that shit, bro. We need like they get a date on Otis and he comes in and works for someone on Rampage or something.
Works for Roddy Strong.
Yeah.
This week on Rampage, Roderick Strong versus it's like
Big bad Otis. Will Chisholm. Will Chisholm, $5. It'd be funny how Cody came back and he's going to main event 3 WrestleManias in a row, 3 WrestleMania matches in a row. Nobody couldn't have seen that happening. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people.
Yeah, 2 matches this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people thought he would be wildly successful coming into WWE. To be honest,
He has exceeded my expectations. I thought he'd do well. I didn't think he'd be like so obviously the number one guy, babyface that is. He's
awesome. Yeah.
We always say it. He took so you will about Cody Rhodes, but he went back to a promotion that was killing top guys left and right. That was brave.
He took the
And it
risk,
paid off.
brother.
He
That's kind of like where I kind of I don't know if respect it's the right way. Like I respect him for going back to Vince's WWE, like, you know what I mean?
But you mean from the he had a lot of faith in his own ability. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that is a gamble.
And that kind of is Cody Rhodes, isn't it? You know, like,
that's his story. Like,
not to get all fucking cringe about it, but it's what he did with AEW.
Look, he was given
what he did when he left WWE in the first place. It's what he does.
He entered the industry with a lot of advantages, but that has been a thing for his story. Is he does bet on himself. That's undeniable. Absolutely.
When he walked into a creatively cooked WWE that like they didn't know how to book anybody.
Oh, and Vince fucking loved him. That's the thing as well. It's like
it wasn't like Hunter picked him, like he was getting pushed the exact same like pre-Hunter, which is like insane.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Seth Rollins clean.
He's actually when things started to turn around. Like Vince would have fucked it up eventually. So Triple H getting the book was able. He sustained it. But if you actually go back, things started changing when Cody came in, like legitimately.
Yeah,
it was a shift. You could feel it. If you go back and watch like the May, June Raws, it felt different with Cody around, even while Vince was still booking. So,
and you know, it's also because, like, you know, for better or for worse, his era is also shaped by the Judgment Day, and Balor turns on Edge like in the springtime to create the modern version of Judgment Day, and then they started courting Dominic, and that was like that got started right before Hunter took over, and also at the exact same time was the very first Sami Zayn pre-tape with Roman Reigns backstage. So when you think about it, Cody Rhodes being there, the Judgment Day and the Dominic stuff, Sami Zayn and the Bloodline, like it all started to happen at the exact same time.
Farhad, 39.99 saw again. How damaging if Cody Rhodes gets pinned twice? Extreme.
Pretty bad.
Very bad.
Pretty bad.
That'll be stuff that
you can just kind of put it bluntly like that as well, you know. Go on, Bill.
No, I was just gonna say they'd be making documentaries about that like years from now.
Will Chisholm, $5 appreciate. Yeah, when Stone Cold hits the stunner on The Rock, will The Rock try to do the flip? He might. He can't, but he might try.
I'd recommend against it. Yeah,
that's what the super chat says as well. Will he try? You know,
I would recommend
try and do a ridiculous.
He do the Brett sell, and then afterwards immediately tweet, "Shout out to the Hitman. I've been studying," to make it seem like it was like an artistic choice. That would be my recommendation to Dwayne.
Matt Hennessy, you know. Is Sheamus AEW bound? Seems unhappy in a similar way Andrade was in AEW with passive-aggressive tweets before his WWE return. I don't think anyone could say confidently for sure outside of like obviously Sheamus and the people like very, very close to him, or the people who know exactly how the negotiations are going with WWE, if they are even negotiating. Well, you know, it's contract year for him. He's not currently on screen. It's questionable because apparently I believe he's recovered from his shoulder injury. And yeah, like you said, he's done a few tweets where he doesn't seem super happy. I don't think he's as blatant as Andrade, but he's especially for if comparatively to other WWE talent and stuff, like it is still quite noticeable. You know,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it does. It does feel like things are trending towards him leaving, but that could also be he could just come back after Mania, right? With a renewed run. We'll see.
Some Gander, $14, 14 Zar. Which rookie should Sean build around in 2024? Oba's not a rookie, but obviously Oba. Like all bits aside, like obviously Oba family.
Yeah, of course.
Monty, I'd like to think I was influenced by a tweet from about an hour and a half ago, because it got reported by Fightful that Melo is starting officially in the main roster after Mania.
Mm-hmm. Trick, obviously.
The majority of the 2.0 generations are getting called up, and NXT has to go on a CW network by the end of the year, and they really had to figure out who their horses are going to be. You know, either you expand the roles of some people or what, but I think they need to start signing. I think they need
Bro,
to get...
I think if they go to if they do this right with Trick Williams, bro. If they do this right with Trick Williams, like he beats Mello at standing delivery, he goes on and he grows even more, gets more popular, he wins the NXT title, and he's like the face of NXT going into the CW network. I think that's good. Like Trick Williams has huge star potential. He's already starting to catch a light now, you know. So yeah, like Trick Williams, I think he's someone that you could build around in
For sure.
100%.
And the role
Over
of
Femi. What women? I'm trying to think of women. you
Lola,
could build
right?
around.
Lola's still super new, right?
Yeah, she's.
I'm sure she's got ways to go. I haven't seen her wrestle in a couple months, but
I'd also be holding out hope that like some of the people that I'm really
Sol Ruka.
I was gonna say like
yeah.
I'd be holding out hope that she really like puts it together soon, you know.
Sol Ruka. That's a good one by me. Pat myself on the back.
The thing with it is as well, when it comes to see like the network change, you can always just send main roster guys. That's the beauty of their situation. They're very lucky in that regard, right? Like it's like,
who would you send though? That's a good question.
well, but I'm saying like when the deal changes over, we don't know where the roster's going to be in 9 months, right? There could be a guy who's kind of stale or whatever it may be. It does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Someone said Julia, and it's like, bro, Julia realistically just needs to kind of go to NXT to kind of
just get comfortable.
Yeah, just get comfortable. She's not someone I'd be long term building around in NXT. Like,
right.
So
I'd be like immediately thinking, let's get a comfortable girl on the main roster.
I was genuinely asking, like, who would you guys send to NXT to kind of?
No, it's a good question. Yeah, good question.
Shinsuke.
Oh my god!
Honestly, bro, like he would be so. I mean, we saw it when he made that guest spot in NXT. Like, he'd be so over in that building. Like,
yeah.
The problem is people him wouldn't like get better at wrestling.
They wouldn't.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter if you're talking just TV novelty.
Just for TV, just for TV purposes, it would just give them a little pop, right?
I ideally want somebody that would, if they work my guys, these guys are getting like Ziggler was so perfect.
Honestly, I'm not just doing this because it's been a bit recently, but AJ.
AJ?
Yeah. AJ, by the end of this year, what is he going to be doing on the main roster? I'm sure he'd be thrilled to he'd just have to go to Florida once a week. He said he wants to be a scout there when he's done. Like, AJ.
That'd be interesting.
Nick Star, Unbound, $5. Appreciate. What if Sammy wins at Mania and Priest cashes in the night after Mania to become Intercontinental Champion?
No, thank you.
Bob Builder, $2. Appreciate it. Does Punk open Raw?
I don't know.
Samganda, again, 14. Appreciate you. Are they done with Gable Stevenson? Is he that bad? Yes, and he's also an alleged rapist, so, you know. There's that.
Yeah.
And the crowd seemingly are aware that he's at least not the most, likable, marketable guy. And just watch the Baron Corbin match, bro. It's like it's not even that it's just a bad match. It's like the crowd just
has he done any dark matches recently or not?
No, they stopped doing them.
Okay,
it's over. Okay, we've got just over 5 minutes. There's some things in the title we haven't talked about. We ain't even talked about Stone. We ain't talked about Stone Cold.
What does it say about Stone Cold,
bro? We called it. We were ahead of this. We're the ones who basically reported it, even though we didn't know and we're just guessing.
Okay. No. Because it's like
it's an actual report.
I was gonna say there was something in the newsletter.
Oh, really?
Good old Dave. Yeah,
there is an actual report.
I believe right now. Ibu, chill the fuck out, bro. You've done that 20 times now. The belief right now is that Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, and John Cena will have something at WrestleMania 40 in some form. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but that is the belief in WWE. All three of them, the big three, Austin, Taker, Cena, will all have some involvement in some way or some form at WrestleMania. So, amen.
Cena's in Bloodline Rules, I think.
What, Solo?
As is Austin. Yeah, because Solo. Taker's the one I don't know what you... Especially because of the way he is now. He's just Mark.
Ibu, do you remember, like, you should remember because it's like your info. We was on these podcasts and stuff, and we was talking about, I think he might have even been Mania last year, where they were talking about like the closing stretch of this like Cody Roman thing and the bloodline stuff is going to be like Avengers Endgame. You know, this I think will probably be more like that. You know, so we'll see how it plays out, man. We'll see
I
how
think
it plays out.
He should just be there, and if you want to pan him backstage for a couple short words, you just do that.
But yeah, man, Austin. Like I said, we all predicted like last week, didn't we? And we've been predicting probably a bit longer than that as well. But Austin, you know, The Rock and Roman, they're gonna have Cody beat. The glass shatters. I fucking throw my phone out the window in excitement, you know. And The Rock, it's a stunner, brother.
I think it's a lock, dude. I can literally see Rock sell of this fucking music here.
The glass shatters.
Glass shattering, yeah. And again, look, I mean, at this point, the way that this thing's built, it's the right thing. Go the whole way with it and just an absolute spectacle.
I think there's a chance Cena wrestles a match.
Like an impromptu match?
Yeah.
That would suck.
It would, but, you know.
I could see him doing that, yeah. I could see him doing that. Hasn't he got like a losing streak or something?
Yes.
He could do like a thing. We're making history, and I'm going to break the losing streak or send the people. It cuts to you and I standing there looking bored.
Oh, there you go. Man.
I could see
Austin back for Mania. That's the main one I thought.
I'd rather just do an AA on Solo Sikoa.
What do we think, Taker? Some people in the chat said it might be something with Bray. I could definitely see him doing something special for Bray.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd be involved in that, yeah.
That'd be really cool.
It would be, yeah. It would be very, very cool.
He narrated the trailer for his documentary that's coming out.
He narrates the whole thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so I actually think that's probably what it's leaning towards.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah, so Austin, we talked about him. Very fired up. I love Stone Cold. Shock. Hot take. Stone Cold Steve Austin's quite good. CM Punk at WWE RAW, we've touched on that. I think I put Motor City Machine Guns in the tweet, I think. Yeah, they're leaving TNA. That's leaving TNA, brother. God bless them.
Good for them. Yeah.
Hopefully they can get themselves some nice contracts, man. They deserve it. Genuinely. So I think it'll be AEW. I think Kibu predicted AEW as well. You're predicting AEW as well now, Joe. So that's our prediction.
Much more natural fit, right? Much more natural fit. And don't get me wrong. I mean, if they go to WWE, it'd be cool. I'd like to see them wherever they go because it's just fun. But AEW is such a natural. They can literally just slot in there and get a good reaction right away, right? It's just easier. So easier, schedules more suited to them at this point in their careers. Like, yeah, I think AEW is the most machine guns, and the tag division needs it. Let's be real, man. Like, they ain't a young team, but they're a new team to that promotion. And they need that in AEW. So makes sense to me.
Yeah, like I said, they deserve like a nice contract. You know, don't know how many more contracts they're gonna have. You know,
right.
So it's like hopefully they can get one last nice contract whilst they've still got juice, man, and they still can go. They're still very great. So it's like let's get a year or two out of them whilst they're still like they've still got the powers about them. You know,
Dragon's definitely going to have like a 15-minute singles match with Shelley on Collision.
That's going to be perverted.
Darren Walker, Motor City Machine Guns versus Lethal and Jarrett. Can't wait. But that could unironically be pretty decent. I can't.
That would get TNA chance.
It would probably roll, actually. Yeah,
that's what I mean, bro. Yeah. Someone says in the chat, but Alex Shelley has a day job. So, bro, you get that man a real contract. Like, what are we doing? You know.
I don't
even know if that's true, but just the idea of that maybe
it
being
was at
true.
One point. I can't remember if he quit or not.
But I remember when Josh Alexander quit his day job when he got his last TNA deal. Yeah, I remember that. But
I mean, look, at this point, even if he wants to keep the job, he can just work Collision every Saturday. It's like
beast,
weekend warrior, bro.
Big fans. All right, tomorrow Raw review. Jana, Ibu, Rob. Don't go live. Haven't confirmed it, so I think we're doing Don't Go Live. No one's told me anything different. So, what else we got? We're gonna have some features coming out over the next like 2 weeks or so. I want to do like a proper WrestleMania run, because we didn't do one last year, and we do some good features on the WrestlePurists site, man. We've got some people that are either the talented writers because they've been doing it for me, and sometimes we just kind of come across people that just come out with a great feature, man.
Yeah, some very talented folks out there, bro.
I very much like how we do features, especially I think we do the best features, bro. I'll say it with my chest. I think we do the best features in terms of like out of like the prominent sites on wrestling Twitter. I think we do the best features. We got some good writers on our team, but anyway, Raw's starting, so we're gonna get out of here. We ain't gonna hold you any longer. Hopefully, CM Punk does something good. Hopefully, he doesn't announce that he's a special guest referee or any bullshit like that. Follow us at WrestlePurists. Check out the website WrestlePurists.com. Go read one of those features and check out for the Stokely Hathaway interview that we did last week or the week before. And yeah, like I said, Raw review tomorrow. Don't go live tomorrow. Like, subscribe on your way out. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.